Well, hey there. I'm Sunny Brigham. I don't know why I was a little flustered. I'm Sunny Brigham. I'm one of the supervisors here at the Nutrition and Herbal Collective. Let me just make sure that I am live and the feed is going good. And then I can start talking, because it would be horrible if I started talking and I had no live feed. Well, it looks like we're live. Perfect. Okay. So today we are going to talk about how to promote your packages for client retention. So this is a topic that I talk about often with our interns because, and I think anybody as a nutritionist or an herbalist really struggles with, building a private practice or building a business and how to maintain it, right? Because while we got a lot of education on nutrition or herbs or, how to help people, we didn't really get so much information on how to build a good, solid, thriving practice, or how, once we have this knowledge of how to help people, how do we go out in the world and actually do that? And so what I want to talk about is the creation of packages, not so much, but more so what we can say to our clients to help them move forward through the process. So first and foremost, client retention is important to our businesses because if we're constantly doing initial consultations, one, we don't really have any client follow up, right? So we don't really know if we're being successful practitioners. I don't know about other nutritionists, but for myself, if I have booked an initial consultation and then had no follow-up consultations, I could not get that person to come back for a follow-up consultation. Immediately, I think, what did I do wrong? What did I not help them? Did we not, get along very well? Like, what happened? What could I do better? And so we want to make sure that we have follow through with our clients. We need to be booking those follow-up consultations for them to make sure that they're continuing along in their health journey, because one session is not going to get them all of the information or all of the tools that they need in order to be successful in their own health journey. But two, we need the business, quite frankly, right? It's easier to retain clients than it is to continually get new clients. So client retention is a big thing when it comes to businesses. Now, how do you do that? Well, you have to help them. That's one. We have to help them and learn, right? Which is a topic for another day. But packages are a really great way to ensure client retention. I will share with you how I do my own packages. And what I tell our interns is take what we do, model it, change it, and alter it so it fits what you need in your business. Because what I do, or how I do my packages, or what I've learned for myself or for my own practice, doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to translate and work well for you in your practice, because how I describe things aren't always, how you would describe things. And so the way that we promote our packages really changes from practitioner to practitioner. So take what I'm going to say to you and model it, but change it to how it feels good for you. So for me, first and foremost, is I have one-off and a follow-up consultation. So a 45-minute follow-up. All of my follow-up consultations are 45 minutes. I do not have a 30, 45, 60 minute. They're all 45 minutes, and I advertise them as 30 to 45 minutes. That way, if it's a little bit on the short side, that's okay. They understand that it's kind of a range. And if we go over, that's okay for me as well, because I have a lot of clients that follow-up consultations are maybe 25 to 30 minutes. The majority of people is right at the 45-minute mark. And then I have one or two people that I know we're going to go over. And so for me, from a financial standpoint, that evens out. The shorter people even out the longer people. Now, I have those one-off follow-up consultations. I don't advertise that. Nobody can book that except me, because the majority of the people are not going to benefit from those one-off sessions. I would say 99% of clients into a package. And I have a package of a 3-month and 6 months. So 3 months and 6 months is only the follow-up consultations. I require the initial consultation to be done as a standalone process. And I do that for a few reasons. And I learned this. I used to just do the initial consultation and then follow-up consultation, follow-up consultation, follow-up consultation. So eventually I went to packages. I had the initial consultation in the package. And between things that I learned and then feedback that I got from potential clients, I removed that as a standalone item. So I removed it as a standalone item for two reasons. One, to make sure that I felt 100% comfortable working with this person. And I know that the strategy call or your discovery call also serves the same purpose, but 20 minutes versus 90 minutes gives you a completely different view of an individual. So it allows me to end it after the initial consultation if I need to, if I feel like this is not going to be a good working relationship between the two of us. And it also does the same thing for the client. Again, a 20-minute or a 15-minute discovery or strategy call only gives you 15 to 20-minute snapshot to see, is this going to be a good relationship for both sides? So for the client and for myself. So after that initial consultation, either one of us could just walk away at that point. More often than not, they turn into, I move them into a package. I developed a 3-month package and a 6-month package. And this is how I promote my packages to my clients, is at the beginning of the initial consultation, because people will ask, well, what about follow-up consultations? How much do those cost? On a strategy call, I tell people I only do follow-up consultations through packages. And I tell people not to determine what type of package they're going to need, because I'm an honest person and I will tell you what I think that you're going to need at the end of your initial consultation when I have a better idea as to what's going on with your body. During the initial consultation, as we're kind of collecting all of this data and this information, and we're asking all of these questions as we're trying to kind of peel back the layers and get down to the baseline to figure out what's happening with this person's body. During that time, in my mind, I'm formulating, I'm like, okay, well, I see this is happening. Okay, we're definitely going to need to support the liver. Oh, but we've got to get the, balance moving first. So I'm kind of thinking of all of these things that we need to focus on with this particular client. So at the end of the session, I'll talk to them a little bit about the things that I'm seeing. Transparency and honesty are two of the biggest qualities that you can give your clients. If you can't help them, you need to tell them, I don't think that I'm the practitioner for you. Or, you know what, I don't know the answer to that question, but let me tap into some of my resources. Let me ask my mentor, or, do you mind if I post your case for some other nutritionist to kind of give me some feedback on it? More often than not, people are going to be like, yes, the more eyes, the better. Great. So transparency and honesty are really important to you as a practitioner when you're working with clients. So at the end of an initial consultation, what I say to them is, this is what I'm seeing going on. As I'm seeing, we've got X, Y, and Z. I know that we need to, work on these things because your goals are A, B, and C. We need to get these in line in order for your goals to pan out the way that you want them to. These are things that are pretty difficult, and they're going to take some time to get through. Let me get some thoughts together as I write up your protocol. I'll share with you my thoughts in the protocol about how long I think we're going to need to be together during, for follow-up consultations. And then I'll follow up with you in a few days and see what your thoughts are. And so in the follow-up or in the protocol that I send them, or their recommendations or interventions, they're all the same thing, just different words. So when I send that to them, I always send them a little note that says, thanks so much for doing the initial consultation today. I really enjoyed learning a little bit more about you. Below is your protocol. Read through it, take some time to digest it. If you have any other questions, definitely let me know. And then what I do is kind of put like a little break line, and then I list out the package options. I have presented the one-off session to clients before because they really just needed 1 or 2 sessions. And I wasn't going to sell them a package that I didn't think that they needed. So I was honest, and I told them that. And I said, I really think that you're just going to need 1 or 2 sessions spaced about, a month and a half apart, because you're doing really well on your own. Let's just tweak some things here and there. And I don't think that you need a package. Here is my rate for the follow-up consultations. When you're ready to book your next one, let me know. And I'll, like I said, I follow up with them in a few days. But for most people, I present both package options. This is the 3-month package. This is what's included. This is the price. This is what makes up that price. And I explain everything that's included in that package. And I explain, this is who this package is typically good for. People that are doing really well on their own. They don't need a lot of support. They don't have complex medical issues. Maybe they're just looking to lose a little weight. Maybe they're just looking to jumpstart their health, or maybe they've done a lot of work on their own and they're just looking to kind of key in a few things. The 6-month package is more for people that have complex long-term issues. And I give examples: autoimmune conditions, elevated cholesterol levels, support for weight loss, struggles with digestive health. hormone imbalance. So I kind of list out some of the things, and then I share my thoughts based on what I saw from our initial consultation. As we discussed, I'm really seeing X, Y, and Z is happening. In order to get you to your goals of A, B, or C, this is what we're going to have to work on. And I kind of list out, not super specific, because I don't want them to go off on their own and say, oh, well, she said I need to focus on my stress, so I'm going to focus on my stress. I want them to come back with me because I want to share this journey with them. One, to make sure that they're successful, but two, also to have a thriving practice. So I kind of explain, all the things that we're going to do together. We're going to, key in on your diet and make sure that we're working on healthy eating patterns, but we're also going to work on those food behaviors that you mentioned. You mentioned that you have a lot of late night cravings. We're going to get to the bottom of those. Could be hormone imbalance, could be anxiety, could be depression. We're going to figure out what the source of those are so that we can get your body back into better balance. And then I just kind of list the things like that. More often than not, people come back usually within a couple of hours to book their 6-month package or their 3-month package or their follow-up if it was a one-off. But transparency and honesty, being very clear with them, is going to go a long way in building that relationship with clients. But if you explain to them the necessity of why so many follow-up consultations are needed in a manner that they can understand, that is going to help with that client retention when you are promoting your packages. So coming up with packages, you need to come up with a package that feels good to you. And how you can do this is you can take what your hourly rate is and how you typically look at follow-up consultations, and then create packages around those, and then what you want to include in those packages. So for me, in my packages, I include 2 follow-up consultations per month. So in the 3-month package, that is 6 follow-up consultations. I include unlimited contact in between sessions, and then I spell out what that unlimited contact is. That unlimited contact is limited to quick questions and follow-up from previous sessions. If new information is introduced, new labs, things like that, those the new information will be put forward to the next follow-up consultation, because I don't want clients to send me labs and be like, hey, what do you think? What should we do here? If they do that anyway, I'll say, great, thanks for sending me your labs. We're going to discuss these at your next follow-up consultation. That unlimited contact in between sessions is meant to clarify things that we have already talked about or things they're currently working on. And I limit that to 15 minutes or less. Quick. And when I'm explaining this to people, I will use the example of quick, hey, can you just explain that process to me that you did in our session? Or I know you said that you wanted me to add more leafy greens. What about this? I'm not really enjoying it. Could I have this instead? Those type of questions are okay. Then I tell them that I need 24 hours to get back to them during the weekdays, 48 hours on the weekends. More often than not, I respond much faster to clients, but I set that expectation for them so that they don't think that I'm going to be answering their messages or their emails at 9 or 10 p.m. at night. And then their 6-month package is the exact same. It's 12 sessions with unlimited contact, but I give an ever so slight discount for the length of time. So there is no discount on the 3-month package, but there is a discount on the 6-month package. And when I say ever so slight, I want to say it's like 8% last time I calculated it. And I don't charge up front for packages. That's just me and my personal preference for 2 reasons. 1, most people can't afford it. And 2, it allows me to have continual monthly income. If somebody pays $2,000 up front for a package, that's $2,000 that now I have to make stretch out over a certain period of time. Whereas if they're paying for their package every month, that's continual monthly income that I have to help me pay for my operating costs and for me to take a paycheck from. So the paying it monthly helps them, but it helps me as well. I know some people like to take the full package up front, and that's great. That's their prerogative. That's just how I prefer to do it. Okay, so just make sure that, like I said, talking about how to create packages is a whole other conversation for another time. That's how I made my packages. But to promote your packages for client retention, you need to be transparent and honest. You need to explain to them why you think they need X amount of sessions, because they're not always going to be able to put 2 and 2 together. And don't promote your one-off consultations. Your follow-up consultations Don't list them on your website. Don't put them in your EMR. Don't list them anywhere that somebody can book those unless you feel that person just needs a couple of sessions. Always default to your packages, as those should be the only options for the majority of people. Okay, so if you have any questions, definitely let me know. It was great chatting with you all today, and I will see you around.